monthly update of 2020. How exciting is this? It feels like forever since 2019. I've got FFOs, I've got page finishes. What is not to like about that? Hello my lovely Flosstube friends and welcome back to my channel. Warm welcome to all those lovely new subscribers. If you like what you see throughout the course of this video, please remember to subscribe to the channel, give me a little thumbs up to let me know you like what you see. I can't believe, people, that January has been and gone and I'm like, hello everyone, it's the beginning of the year. Because it's not, it's February and I cannot believe how fast January flew by. But that's not to say I didn't absolutely love it. I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed myself in January. I've been proactive, I've been productive, all those good things. And some of that is actually due to something that I sort of decided along the way. So you all know I don't really do sales. I don't really I'm not overly involved or engaged on the Facebook groups. But the one that I really thought, you know what, I'm really going to give this one a go, is the Jessie Marie Does Stuff Whip Go 2020. So I signed up for that thinking, well, you know, maybe I'll sit on the wings and watch to see what happens. It has held me so accountable. And that is the reason I think that I feel like I've really achieved something this last month or so. So you're not here to listen to me rabbit the hind legs off a donkey. Let me just show you what I mean. So for those that don't actually know what the Whip Go is, Jessie Marie has done it, I believe, personally herself and then has opened it up to the community. If you haven't been and checked out Jessie Marie's Does Stuff channel, I will put a link here so that you can pop on and go and see her because she is great. She basically came up with the process. She opened a Facebook group so that we could all join in. Back in December, we all created our little grids where we decided, you know, the number of squares that we needed, what our goals were going to be and what projects we would stitch on. Obviously, we started in January. That's what's kicked me off. And we've just called the numbers for February. So I'm super excited about getting February's stitching done as well. So that being said, let's head on over to the whips because that's what we're here for, to see what I've actually done. So for those of you that might sort of follow my channel anyway, you'll know that I done a very impromptu Stitch With Me live video. And during that video, I was working on a project that hasn't seen the light of day for some time. So this is my spring quaker. It's a Rosewood Manor design. And when I first started this, because of the fabric that I was working on and I was working with the called for Valdani threads, which are like a little 3-ply. Here we are. Let's give you a little look at those. They're like a little 3-ply stranded cotton. But on the fabric that I was working on, I found that it felt a bit bulky. So initially I didn't really like it. But believe it or not, I've gone back to it. Now that I'm actually stitching on my little stand, and I'm having it really quite close to me, I'm finding that I can see it so much better. So yeah, so I feel like it's back in the land of living as far as being a live project again. It sort of went in a bit of time out because I wasn't 100% sure whether I was actually liking it or not. So I'm not sure that I've got anywhere where I can show you where you last saw it, but for those that were actually on the Stitch Live, you'll notice I haven't done any more than I've already done. Let me put something white behind you. Have I got anything white? Let's have something white. Nothing like a bit of light. We love light until we actually start recording something. So there we go. So that's where I've got to. Not amazing amounts of extra, but something's better than nothing. Super happy with that. And I think that when I do my Stitch With Me's and my Stitch Lives, I think this might be my little go-to because I actually found this quite capable. I could do the whole talking, stitching at the same time without overly sort of panicking. Because every time I've tried to do it, something's gone wrong. Normally my stitching has gone wrong, but let's not even go there. Whips that I've actually stitched on this month. Let me go to my trusty planner. Oh, have I got things to talk to you about? About planners and the likes. But all that is upcoming in another video. Backtrack. Just realised, haven't been telling you anything about the fabrics, have I? This is a fabric that is called Pop Puree. So the fabric that I'm using for the Rosewood Manor is, it's a Sparkly's hand-dyed fabric in the colourway Pop Puree. So, and I really, really love the colour. So next up is the lovely Andromeda by Mirabilia. Here's what she should look like when she's completed, if I ever get there. I'm not 100% sure that I've done anything on her since the last time we spoke, so rather than leave her out, just in case I have, I thought I would share with you, just to make sure that I didn't leave her off. I'm pretty sure that I might have stitched a little bit. But obviously you know that I've sort of put her in a bit of time out because I'm not 100% happy with the face. So that sort of upset me a little bit. And I've got lots of hanging threads, so I do apologise. Let's see if I can show you her. So as you can see, her face I'm not 100% happy with. And I've been working on this section at the bottom here. So I've done a little more over here. And I think I brought this down a little bit here, just sort of a bit more of that. But like I say, it's probably completely unnoticeable, the difference between last time you saw this one and now. And I do apologise if the light seems to go in and out. I've done everything that I can. I've moved all over the house to try and record this video, but the sunlight keeps coming out to play, which is not always helpful when you're trying to record videos that show true to life colour. So next up we have my new project that I started back in December of 2019. This is my long dog sampler called Castles in the Air. Would you believe it, I can't find the picture for the long dog sampler. So about now I'll input like an image so that you can see what it should look like. And this is where I got to on this. So the silks, so the grey is a silk thread by Silks For You in colourway PR161. I wanted something that was variegated, and then I'm just going to start using the Krenix as sort of like little pops of colour here and there. But absolutely love this fabric and love how it's coming up. I haven't actually managed to stitch on it as much as I would have liked because I've been rather waylaid on other things, as previously discussed. But with this many projects, I think you just have to sort of pull bits and pieces out as and when you're feeling the love for them. So that is my lovely long dog sampler. Next up we have, it says, my Autumn Promise. So this is the Hardanger and Drawn Thread by Judy Dixon. So here is what it should look like. So it's almost like a sort of a section of bands. Now I am rather worried, if I'm honest. I'll share this with you now. I went on to the Etsy website. So I actually purchased these from an Etsy store called Towels in Stitches. Now from what I can gather, Towels in Stitches was the daughter, or is the daughter, of Judy Dixon. I went on there the other day to see if they had any other charts that I fancied purchasing, and I can't find the site. So I don't know whether the shop is just temporarily closed, or if in actual fact the Etsy store is shut. I don't know that there's a way that I can find out. I'm rather hoping that I'll leave it a month or so. Don't you just love it when someone knocks at the door while you're in the middle of talking to yourself on a camera? That's just fun, isn't it? Like I was saying, I'm rather hoping that the store hasn't shut, but I'm not sure that there's a way that I can find out. I'm just hoping that maybe in a month or so's time, when I go on Etsy, the store will appear, because it would be such a shame to not be able to get my hands on any more of these gorgeous, gorgeous projects. So where did we get to on this? I can't remember the last time I showed this to you. So about now you should be seeing where you last saw it. And this is where we've got to now. So as you can see, that's the top band that you've all seen before. And that there is the band that I was working on. So I'm sort of fighting with my light here to be able to show it to you. So that is the band that I've just finished. So we are really getting there now. So let me hold it back for you so you can see it. Really, really getting there on this piece. So from a band perspective, obviously it's still got beads to have put on it and all that good stuff. So basically I'm to here. That's the band that I've just completed. So I've got those two in between, the two big bands, are still bands. So that's a band, this is a band, that's a band, and that's a band. So there's still 4 more bands to go, but the littler bands obviously they're a lot easier. So but yeah. I mean, the only good thing is once I finish this one, I do have another one of her designs. So I've got Autumn Promise and, oh, for the life of me, the name's gone. It should come up on the screen about now because I can't remember. So I'll have a little look to see what other design I've got. But I do have another one of these gorgeous designs. So for my Whip Go in January, the numbers that they called meant that I needed to stitch 500 stitches on my alternative reality and 500 stitches on Life is an Open Book. So alternative reality, this is what she'll look like. Ignore the picture because, yeah, it's rather a mess. So that is what she will look like if I ever get it finished. And about now you should be seeing a picture of what it last looked like. And this is where we got to. So here we are. So I'd already worked on this section down here. So the piece that I was actually working on for the January Whip Go was this section here. So we've got some of the lights in there, which are, as reference, let me see if I can put something next to it to reference it for you. There we go. So as reference, you can see that's sort of these lights here, is this section here that you're looking at. So yeah, so I'm super excited. Super, super excited. And it's getting close to another page finish. Which, who doesn't like a page finish, right? So yeah, we are getting there on this piece, and I have actually put, well, you'll probably see from the Whip Go, that on the way that I've done my Whip Go schedule for the 2020 is I'm making sure that I have the same projects on there so that I can get big chunks of work done on some of these full coverage pieces, because that way you've got a goal that you're sort of working towards. Otherwise, if I just sit there and say to myself, oh yeah, I think I might try and stitch 500 stitches this month on this, I'm a bit wishy-washy. But the fact that I'm now being held to accountable with something, that makes all the difference. So that is the first of the Whip Goes. And the second one that I was working on is the Story Keep. Life is an Open Book. So this is what it should look like when it is completed. And about now, you should be seeing a picture of where you last saw this. And this is where we've got to on this. And I love this. I love the colours. And you can just see here at the top, this little bit here, just there. That is the top of that tower, just there. Love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, so again, felt all rather chuffed with myself that I managed to get a nice chunk of work done on that one too. So once I had done my whip goes, because they were like they're the ones that I'm basically making sure that I get in and get done first, and then whatever time I've got left, I'm sort of doing other stuff. That's sort of how I think it's working. Well, at least that's how it's worked this month. But then it may be because I've just not been overly busy, so I've been, you know, chilling and doing what I want to do. So next up is my lovely Peacocks Lagoon. This might be a bit tricky to show you with that light in the way. So Peacocks Lagoon, again, Heaven and Earth design. Here is what it will look like. This is one of the ones that I am stitching in half cross. So this one's on a 25 count fabric. And super exciting. This one has, oh God, she says, nearly took my own chin out, has a page finish. Yay me! Super exciting page finish. Everyone's got to love a page finish. So here we are. Here is where we've got to on that. That moon seems to be taking forever, but absolutely love it. Absolutely love that. And by stitching it in a half cross, like a tent stitch, it's 2 strands on 25 count. I'm sort of happy with the coverage. You know, the coverage isn't bad. But the closer I get to it, the more I can see. So I'm hoping that it just fluffs up a little bit. But to be honest, it's just me being picky, because obviously I've stitched mostly on 28 count. But yeah, so we have a portion of moon. There's a whole lot of more moon to do. So that is my lovely Peacocks Lagoon. First page finish of 2020. Get in there. Just gotta love it. Gotta love it. I get so excited over page finishes, especially on some of mine, because they're Heaven and Earth design. They just take so long to do. I'm like, come on. I can sit for like hours and hours on a Saturday or a Sunday if it's raining or I've got nothing to do. And then I get to the end of it and I'm like, is that as far as I got? Is that the best I could do? So next up is my lovely mini Red Queen Red Dragon. Again, Heaven and Earth design. Here she is. This is what she will look like. And about now you should be seeing a picture of when you last saw her. And I am pleased to report, people. See, I told you this is just like, yay! Yay! It's a yay day today. We have another page finish. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I am loving the page finishes. It just makes me so excited because I'm like, oh, it's getting closer. I know it's miles away, but it's getting closer to a finish. So I love the colours of this one. So this is where we've got to. Literally, I mean, I know you're probably sitting there thinking, Teresa, really? A page finish and that's what you show us, a blob of colour. But that blob of colour, she says, is this top corner here. So just before we get to the little dragon is where we've got to. Love it. Absolutely love it. And the fact that I got another page finish for the beginning of the year. Love it. Oh, well, next and lastly is my lovely chatelaine, Evening in the Park. Here is what it will look like. I have to say, do you know what? Every time I look at that picture on the front of these books and I look on the website at this chart, I'm like, the pictures don't do them justice. These chatelaines are like out of this world. They are something totally different to anything else that I've ever stitched on. And I don't think I've ever seen one of them where the image resembles even remotely what it actually looks like. So, where have we gotten to? This is so hard to show everyone because it's so big. So this is where we're at. Obviously you've all seen the bottom before. So let me see if I can bring this in for you. Like I said, I'm fighting with the, I'm fighting with my lights here because I've got, yeah, see, my lights are sort of hanging, my dining room table lights. So I was working, last time that I showed you this, I was working on this section here, on the trees and the lanterns and the gate. And my original thoughts were that I was gonna finish this section over here and then stop to come over that side. But to be honest, I got burnt out on these trees. I mean, that is the one thing that I'm like, oh dear, because the trees, they burn you out. So I decided that I would go over to the other side and start making a start on this section. Oh, she says, this section here. So as you can see, I've started this band across here. I'll do the same thing for this side and see if I can get this corner or this section completed. But yeah, I absolutely love this piece every single time I look at it. But although I keep saying I keep wanting to make it a focus piece, it's also one of those pieces that I won't work on unless I'm really fancying it. So progress wise, I'm more than happy with this. Obviously it's going to take as long as it takes. I've got these two corners to complete along with the top section, and then I've got to do exactly the same all the way round, and there's still beads and all sorts to go in those corners. So yeah, so although it looks like it's getting close, it's actually really not as close as I would like to think it is. It's just wishful thinking on my part, but absolutely love it. Can't wait for this to be hanging on a wall. So since as we're talking about things hanging on walls, I have some very long awaited FFOs to show you. Now I'm hoping that I can do this and there's not going to be too much glare. Let's see what happens. So you all know that I finished my lovely Grace Faces. I think it was around between March and May of last year. And I kept saying I was going to get it framed and I didn't. Well, now I have. And you know when it's like one of those pieces that you're like, oh, well, I couldn't, because of how she looks and the colours in her, I was adamant that I wanted to go to the right framer. I wanted the right type of frame with the right type of matte board, with the right type of glass. So the glass that I went with is different. So my Roses of Provence is a non-reflective glass, but part of being a non-reflective glass made it so that it put like a slight tinge of sort of opaqueness over the stitching and changed the colouring slightly. This, on the other hand, does not do that. This, I have no idea what type of glass this is, but here she is. Doesn't she look fabulous? So this is on a very non-reflective glass, so let me see if I can move you in nice and close. And obviously, the reason that I went with it was because how can you not look at her and then have glare staring at you? I'm like, I can't. So there we go. And I've done it very, very, you know, plain. I've put an edging board that matches the purple around the edge. I thought something simple was all she needed. Look at her face. Now, the next one that I've got framed, I didn't anticipate this looking as good as it does. Now, it's just sod's law that I'm just about to show you something that, because I didn't think it was going to look that good, I didn't put a non-reflective glass on it. Because I was like, well, you know, it wasn't a big piece. It didn't take me, well, actually, it did take me years to do it, but not because I was working on it for years. It just took years to do because I didn't work on it. And I've got to be honest, I was so surprised and so shocked when I saw how good this actually looked. So you remember I did my lovely high heels collection, well, I don't know how you're going to see this because of the glare. This hasn't got the non-reflective glare on it. So here is what they look like. She says, if I can do it without getting my fingers all in the way. So I went with a very, very plain matte black frame with a black inlay. Oh, there we go, there you can see. You can still see the reflection though, can't you? With the shoes. Yeah, you really can see the reflection. You can see the reflection down. Tell you what, you can really see the difference between this glass and the other glass now. So let me see if I can bring you in. So there you go. There's, oh, I keep catching my own light. There you go, that's all three shoes. And you know what, the more I look at this now and the more I sort of see it, the more I wish I'd got the other two charts, because this was a series of three. There was collection 1, High Heels collection 1, collection 2 and collection 3. And collection 2 and 3, along with collection 1, would have made such a great piece to be hung on the wall, to have all three sets. Absolutely love it. And I'm super stoked because, oh, who doesn't like a good finish? But it's not even a finish, because if you're like me, sometimes I can finish something and then do nothing with it. I do nothing with it for ages. So although it's finished, it's sort of like an anticlimax because I haven't done anything with it once I've finished it. Although I know there are a lot of people that don't finish all of their projects and they have them land in a drawer, and every now and then they just go in and have a little touch and a little feel. I get that, but for me, I love to just see them. Especially the bigger pieces where it took me forever to actually do something with them. So coming up in February, it's going to be a hit and miss month, I think, because there's so much going on. I've got dance competitions, I'm flying out to Arizona, it's my husband's birthday. So there's loads going on, and of course it's all going to be bashing around my weekend. So how productive I am through the course of this month, it will be, well, we will see. But I'm not going to hold my breath that I'm going to be as productive and achieve as much as I did this month, that's for sure. So I fell down the rabbit hole of Pattern Keeper, along with the whole of the Flosstube and, you know, stitching community. For those that haven't checked it out yet, it won't be long, trust me, because if you haven't heard about it yet, you will do very, very soon from someone, not necessarily from me. So yeah, I went and bought a tablet, and I've downloaded the Pattern Keeper. I've been using it now for a good couple of weeks. Maybe that's the reason I got page finishes. Maybe that's what it is. We'll say that it was the Pattern Keeper changer. It is a game changer. Because it's such a great app, it doesn't replace my GoodNotes app. You know, they both do sort of the same thing, but one doesn't replace the other. Not yet anyway, in my opinion. I think the Pattern Keeper deserves its own video, so I will talk about that in another video another time. But absolutely loving working with that. What else to tell you? My knitting. Now, people ask me about the knitting, and I'm going to be totally honest with you, it's not wearable. It's so not wearable, but it's funny. And it was a great experience, but, well. Okay, so it was going really well, and I loved the colours. Here it is. It's a little smaller than I ever imagined that it would be. Maybe once it gets blocked, the idea is that you block them and stretch them and make them bigger, but this looks very small. So it doesn't even really go round my neck. So yeah, a little bit too small for wearing. But the problem is it did go wrong. So obviously here's the body of it. Like I said, love those colours. Very autumnal. Done the bottom section with its little sort of design border. Was happy with that until we got to this bit where, yeah, we've got a flat section which is supposed to be a point. And we've got an appendage point that should have been a flat section. So if I hold this out, I mean, it's laughable. Look at it. What is that? I mean, I did think, well, you know, I could still wear it and people would never know. But it's like, what do you do with that? It looks like a strap. It's not wearable. If you would wear this, you have to tell me, because there's no way on God's green earth I would be wearing this. Never in a million years. Look at it. Can you imagine walking around London? Hi everyone, it's a new trend. It's a new geometrical line we've got going on. Yeah, no, that's not doing it for me. So I'm going to have to I'm going to have to knit another one and hopefully not go wrong. Thank you everyone for all the lovely comments who basically told me where I went wrong, and that at some point I managed to start increasing on my decrease side and not decreasing on my increase side. Yeah, you know what I mean. So basically that's where it went wrong. I wouldn't have known that, if I'm honest. So, but first project, even if it does look a bit, I'm sorry, but no one could take that seriously. What does it look like? Oh dear. Yeah, so hence, yeah, you haven't seen me wearing that, and no one ever will see me wearing that. So that's the knitting. I will do some more knitting. I just, yeah, I think that sort of put me off a little bit, because I got all excited that it was going so well, and then right at the end it started to go really wrong, and I was like, I didn't really know how to fix it, so I thought I'll just finish it off. Maybe if I block it, it won't notice, but obviously you can't not notice that. So there you go. So that is stitching, that is knitting, that is FFOs, that is page finishes. Like I said, this month I feel like I've been super productive and that I've achieved so much more than I normally do. I will probably burst my own bubble and get absolutely nothing done next month, but hey, I'm along for the ride of that. One thing that I wanted to quickly touch on before I go. Now, I know that not every video that I upload is going to be something that you're going to watch or of interest to you. So I'm going to try and make it so that all the videos that I upload, the titles will sort of give you an idea of what you're likely to see. So if it says it's a monthly update, you will see a monthly update. You'll see a bit of everything of what I've been doing, what I've been working on, you know, what's new, what's not new. Anything outside of that, I will try to make sure that the title again is reflective of what you see. So if it's something new that I've bought, it will say like a new thing. If it's, you know, how I do something, it will say how I do, or tutorial or something along that lines. I am aware that there are a lot of people that have left, you know, messages, or they've left comments on videos saying, oh, I like those Teresa, but I don't like these type of videos. That's fine. Completely get it. Totally get that. There's a lot of videos that I don't like personally. But in which case, I normally look at the title, and if it's not something that I fancy looking at, or I know that it's not going to be something that I'm interested in, then I just don't watch. You know, I won't be offended. So that is coming up. So there will be more videos coming up. And like I say, I'm going to try and make them title content related, so that it makes it very easy for you to see if it's something you like or something you don't like. And finally, I never do finalies and I never do admin, but this time I'm afraid I have to do a small amount of admin, and I'm only going to say it once and once only. If you cannot leave me a nice, pleasant comment that is stitching related, then it will be blocked and it will be deleted. Now, I know I'm not the only one that has had recent comments on their videos. I know that Jodie's Crafty Corner, I think it is, she mentioned that she'd had some rather unpleasant comments. I, on the other hand, am normally aware quite frequently of trolling and nasty comments, and normally they're just blocked and deleted, and I never mention it on this channel. Never mention to you that I've had that. However, when it gets to the point that I know that it's a stitcher, they comment about how lovely my stitching is, however, they have an issue with my appearance, that I don't really accept. You know, this isn't a beauty channel, this is a stitching related channel. So, you know, you're here to see the stitching, you just happen to see me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to go any further than that. But like I say, please keep your comments pleasant, be nice, and content related. So on that note, people, Let's get it back up to the high, shall we? Until next time. Bye bye for now.